This conference will now be recorded.
I have worked on Vim since almost last 8 9 years, and I worked on various versions of Vim right from 5.1 till 20.3 in various environments. I have worked for different type of projects, right from support, upgrade, implementation, fresh implementation on ECC, on S4HANA. All these kind of project experience I do have. Okay, so I'll be leading this as a trainer for this course. So this was a short introduction about myself. Can we have a short introduction for whoever has joined? Can we go for a round of introduction?
Hi Sachin, I'll go first. My name is Naveen.
Sorry, your voice is too feeble. Could you be a bit louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, my name is Naveen. I've been working in SAP FICO consultant for last 14 years.
Okay.
I've been consulting since almost 13, 14 years now, and I'm like interested to learn Vim as like from end to start to end, uh, like an implementation prospect.
Sorry about the background noise. Yep. Thanks, Naveen. So you're FICO consultant with 13 to 14 years experience, and I'm not sure if I missed it. What is like you want to learn Vim from what perspective?
Yeah, like implementation perspective, I want to understand like end to end, like how and means how each channel, email, and everything, like how what are the functional modules that are being used. Like I know like you have 9 years of Vim experience, so you might be knowing like how to find the correct functional modules for certain
Mm-hmm,
business
mm-hmm.
scenarios. So that is all that I want
Do you
to.
have already Vim implemented in your organization and you're looking to support for it, or how is it?
Yeah, it is currently ongoing. Like it has been started now. We are testing non-PO based invoices. So like configuration wise, I am not sure like how this actually works. So that is what
Mm-hmm,
I am
mm-hmm.
more interested in.
Okay. Okay. So what I understand is like the Vim is already implemented in your organization and you are going to support it, and that's where you want to learn Vim so that you can understand the solution overall and support it.
Correct. That's correct, Sachin.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's go next?
Hi Sachin, my name is Shafiq. I'm currently working for accounts payable. So I am just very much keen about learning on SAP Vim. So that's why I just thought of giving a try. I mean, that's why I attended the demo classes.
Okay. Okay. So you're working as an AP end user, if I understand correctly.
I'm working as an AP end user, yes, in the SAP Vim itself.
Okay. 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 And you are working already on Vim or
Yes, I'm working on Vim itself.
as an end user?
Yes.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you for the brief introduction. And you want to learn Vim and you want to change your career path from end user to consultant, or
Exactly. Yeah.
okay, okay. How many years you have been working as an end user?
So I'm from past 5 to 6 years.
Okay, okay. So you might be already knowing quite a few things about the
Yes. Yeah.
solution,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, 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 okay. Good, good, good. End users, as an end user,
आंटी
also
क्या इधर बेटा
like
सामने है
it is always helpful and
वो निकला
useful that you know the processes already, business process point of view.
Yes.
It is very crucial when we start implementation.
अब मैं जाते हैं ना मैं वो शादी गए ना तो मैं भी
Karimullah Sheikh, could you go on mute, please?
हाँ
There is
चलो
some
अभी
background.
एक मिनट
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Shafi, for the quick introduction. Mm, So who goes next? Is it you, Karimullah Sheikh? Would you like to go?
Hello, hello, Sachin. Myself, Karimullah Sheikh.
Sorry, who is this? Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, yeah, I'm working in
Yes, yes.
FSO consultant and also working on BIM project support. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Dynamo. Yeah, that's it. So I want to enhance my skills in configuration side and project handling.
Okay. You're working as an
Yeah,
FICO consultant and you want to learn VIM uh,
yeah.
so
I'm
as to
and I have
understand it better and
yes,
support it for further enhancements or
we-
support point of view.
yes. Already working on BIM some kind of areas like BIM
Okay,
documentation,
some
workflow.
areas.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, good, good.
But I don't know the configuration side, so that's why I want to enhance my skills in that.
Okay, okay. So basically, you
Yes.
are being working as a FICO
Hmm.
consultant, being involved in VIM as well, and that's where
Yes,
you
yes.
want to understand the VIM solution better from configuration point
Hmm.
of view, so that you can support it from end to end,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, understood,
Mhm.
understood. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Karimula.
Thanks.
So who goes next? Yes, Syed Najib.
Yeah, sure. My name is Sayed Najib. So, I have close to 9 years of experience in complete finance accounts payable as an end user. So, I was looking out for changing my career path from end user to consultant. So, I have
Mm-hmm.
basically complete end-to-end knowledge in accounts payable and a little bit about programming languages like Python, VBA, SQL, and all. So
Mm-hmm.
upon that, I'm very much interested in learning new skills. Like I want to enhance more into SAP since we have multiple modules, which is very helpful for us to grow in
Mm.
our. So I'm very much
Understood.
interested to know more about that. Yeah,
Yes, 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 sure.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you very
Good to
much.
know. Okay. Thank you, Najib. Is it okay if I call you Najib or uh, okay? Who goes next? Jilani Sheikh.
Yeah, hi Sachin. Myself Jilani Sheikh. From last 2 years, I'm in SAP FICO consultant. Currently, I'm working in Vim. Actually, I don't have any experience in Vim, so I want to learn.
Okay, okay. So you are working 2 years as a SAP consultant, and you're being put into a Vim project or Vim support, and you want to
Correct.
learn Vim since you don't know it.
Yes, yes.
Oh, very much understood. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jilani. Shahida, do we have Shahida? You there?
Hi Sachin. Hi Sachin.
Yeah.
Hi Sachin. Myself Shaida. I have overall 7 years of experience in accounts payable. I'm interested to learn SAP Vim.
Okay. So you are also end user.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. And end user in SAP itself or non-SAP platforms?
No, SAP only. SAP Vim. SAP Vim only, Sachin.
Okay. So you are already working as an
Yes.
end user for SAP Vim in
Individual.
API.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. Okay. And you also want to switch from end user to
Search.
consultant.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Okay, thank you, Sachin.
Thank you. So, Meghana, you there? Shrikant?
Yeah, Sachin. This is Srikanth.
Yeah,
Actually,
hi.
I'm attending. This is a second demo, not
Okay.
attend last month. So again, I am
Mm-hmm.
joining. So this time I will attend regularly the classes.
Okay, great, great. So Shrikant,
Yeah,
if like just for everybody's knowledge, like since you are part of the batch, right?
yeah. Actually,
Let me
last
have a
session,
short introduction
last
for
session
everyone together. So that at least this
yeah.
gives like everyone knows each other, right? Also.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello.
Yep. So a quick introduction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Myself, Srikanth. I have the 8 years of experience in SAP. So currently, I'm working on all modules like FI, MM, SD, HR. So I want to learn Vim also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Technically, I know a little bit, but I want to learn
Mm-hmm.
the full configuration. So that's why I joined.
Okay. 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 Absolutely fine. Shrikant, may I
Yeah,
know which organization you're working, if you don't mind?
Tech Mahindra.
Take him. Okay. Okay. I was just wondering, like you said, you're working in FI as well as SD as well, MM as well, like all together. That's where I was
Yes,
wondering, like,
I covered in the last 8 years. I have covered all the modules, PRA, like different CRM.
oh,
So I
great.
have different. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thanks, Srikanth. I
Yeah,
guess
okay, no
Meghana,
problem.
you are back, right? Meghana, you there?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, some microphone issue. Yeah, I'm
No
Meghna.
worries,
I
no
am
worries.
yeah MM consultant having an experience of 3 years, and I'm currently working in one of the Vim projects. So I want to learn on the configuration part of Vim.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. So in your organization, they have placed Vim under MM.
Right, right.
Okay, no worries at all. Okay, okay. I guess we have covered everyone. Okay, we have one more Srikanth. Srikanth
Yeah,
A.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yes,
Oh,
Srikanth, please
Srikanth,
go
one
on.
more Srikanth is there.
Yeah, yeah. We have one more Srikanth. Srikanth A. Can you go with your quick introduction, please?
Yeah, sorry, I just joined the call.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
No
I'll,
worries.
I'll yeah, maybe I will attend the next time the when the
No, we
training will
have just
start.
started. What we were having a quick introduction of everyone.
Okay, so I have I'm already a Vim consultant, having
Uh-huh.
15 years into SAP and 10 years into SAP Vim. So maybe some of the areas which I have not worked, I just wanted to see if I can, if the content matches, so that I'll continue with the training.
Okay, 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 okay. So you're already working
But I
from since 10 years into Vim. I guess he has dropped off. Not sure. Okay. Oh, I guess we have covered everyone. Okay. Okay. So I will share my screen and we'll go through. I have just a small presentation talking about Vim. I guess most of you might be aware about those things, but still we'll go for a quick uh, okay. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Sachin.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay, thank you. See, I'll go into a full screen mode, so I won't be able to see this go to meeting screen. Okay, so I would need your help. Okay, in case if you have any questions, queries, please prompt out in between. Okay, wherever you have a query, you stop me and you raise your query. Say your name and then the query so that I understand who has raised the query. Okay, since this is the first time we are interacting, I may not be able to recognize your voices. Okay, so help me out there. Okay. So Vim, I guess you all are already aware about Vim. What is Vim? Right? OpenText AG is the organization who has developed this tool called as Vim, Vendor Invoice Management. Okay. So SAP has its own processes and modules. Okay. So vendor invoice management comes into picture when you have a invoice posted for any vendor. Now, there can be two kind of invoices. One is a direct FI invoice. Okay. Uh, so it has been termed as an FI invoice, or it can be termed as a non-PO invoice. And there is another invoice which is with respect to a purchase order PO invoice. When you post these invoices, SAP has its own solutions. The module has different transaction to post the PO based scenarios where you will have the PO created, then GR created, and then invoice creation. So my row is the transaction, right? And there is its own invoice verification process. Similarly, for FI invoices or non-PO invoices, you have FB60 as the standard transaction from SAP, which you can use and post the invoices. But there are some limitations, some challenges which the organizations are in the industry people have faced, and there were certain gaps in the standard SAP process. That's where OpenText has took the opportunity and they have built this solution to bridge all those gaps. Over a period, they have gained a large footprint in the market. It is one of the leading uh, vendor invoice management solution provider. Okay, so this, as I said, that this is a solution which is bridging the gaps between the standard SAP processes. So it becomes necessary that you need to have SAP as the base. Okay, so prerequisite is to have an SAP implementation, and on top of that, you will implement OpenText Vim. So it is a bolt-on solution. You have SAP, and then you implement Vim on top of SAP. Okay, it has its own license. It is a licensed product, so you have to like whenever any organization is procuring SAP, they have to pay the license fee for SAP to SAP AG. And when they procure Vim, they would have to procure a separate license for Vim. So it's not bundled with SAP. There are SAP is offering quite a few products bundled along with SAP's license, but this is not the part of the bundle. Okay, it's OpenText Vim has developed the solution quite a few years before, and initially the solution was very primitive. Over a period, they have enhanced the overall product to a large extent, and few years before, they have also partnered with SAP. Partnering with SAP brings additional advantages to both the organization, SAP as well as OpenText. So with the new changes coming up in SAP environment, whatever SAP is bringing as their product enhancements, or whatever is coming because of any legal requirements, in both the cases, the solutions are developed together. or in other words, those are co-developed. So whatever SAP is building in SAP side is being shared with OpenText, and based on that, OpenText builds their own solution on the to support those particular requirements. Okay. A classic example for this co-development could be the e-invoicing solution. So when the legal requirement came in for e-invoicing, SAP developed the e-document cockpit or e-compliance module, and OpenText built the solution for integrating with the e-compliance module. Okay. The product is given as a package. There are certain TRs, or you can say SAR file, which has a package which has to be implemented. Okay, and it comes with a pre-configured system, so you get certain configuration available in the system by default. It's a workflow based solution and a very flexible and customizable solution. Okay, any questions on web?
Nothing from my end, Sachin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, thanks for the confirmation. Anyone else, or shall I move forward? Okay, I take that as an acceptance. What is the solution features? It is out of the box solution. As I said, like, it is a pre-packaged solution which comes with pre-configuration, and all the processes can be taken up further. Okay, it provides certain rules, regulations, and roles. Okay, so all those are pre-configured. Certain roles are there, certain rules are there, all those, so which can be used as is, and those can be uh, customized, okay, further to optimize or the based on the business requirement. Okay. uh, OpenText has provided this solution which is more on the flexibility part. So they give this pre-configured solution and configurable solution. So when I say pre-configured, there are certain configurations which are given by OpenText themselves, which can be changed as, based on the organization's requirement. Okay, and further they have ensured, or they have given enough emphasis that you have an opportunity to customize it. So it's very flexible solution where you can customize at every nook and corner. Okay, there is certain concept of roles in SAP. We already know that there is a concept of roles which is taken care by the user access management team, or in certain organization it is called as GRC team or basis team or security team. They take care of the roles and authorizations in standard SAP. On top of those roles and authorization, there are certain there is a different concept of roles within WEM, which basically categorizes what is the uh, what I can say it is, what is the job role or job profile of a person in the organization. So in the invoice processing, you may have seen or encountered people having role of tax expert, duplicate checker, AP invoice processors. You may have indexers. Okay, so so these are different roles, and different roles have different uh, what I can say is responsibilities, and according to those Vim has internally task created and task redirection possibility, so that the relevant information is available to the relevant people. OpenText has also developed, apart from Vim, they already had few other products like ECM and all, and in addition to that, they have also developed or they have their own products on uh, OpenText OCR. Okay, OCR solution. OpenText provides services on OCR solutions. They have archiving solutions. So those can be integrated very well with the Vim. Yep. So these are key features on Vim or what OpenText offers. Okay. Any questions on this?
Sachin,
No
like
such.
what is this machine learning and AI?
Okay, machine learning and AI, this talks more on about the OCR solution. So when we talk about OCR, it is optical character recognition. Okay, so when you have an image or a PDF document, it can be sent to the OCR server. OCR server will extract the information from that document, okay, in and give an output as a structured format. So if you have a PDF copy of invoice, it will extract the information from the PDF and it will give the information as document date. What is the value of the document date in the invoice? In that PDF copy, what is the value? So that will be extracted and it will create a structure. So just imagine that you have a structure of the invoice data, maybe document date, invoice or vendor invoice number, what is the vendor number, company code, all this information we populate, right? We fill in this for invoice posting. What is the invoice amount? What is the tax amount? What is the line item? In the line item side, you may have like quantity, price, per unit price, line item price, all that stuff, right? So all that information will be extracted and fill into a structural format, and that structured data is passed to SAP again for processing the invoice further. Okay,
Yeah,
now this
yeah,
extraction part which happens has its own algorithms and code. Okay, so that is what is called as OCR, and in that area they have this machine learning and AI. So today if you have scanned one invoice, okay, and you may say it does not give you 100% correct result, it may have given you say 70% correct result. But if you scan more invoices based on the number of invoices you scan, right, it is learning on its own that what are the different formats, what are the different ways in which the information can be available on the invoice. Okay, and it improves its own performance. So that is where your machine learning and AI comes into picture for OCR part of it.
yeah. Thank you, Sachin. Like I have like one more question on this. Like different vendors have different way of like formats, right, for invoices.
Yes, yes.
So do we need to do any configuration for those, or like the system will automatically know like different vendors details?
See, system has its own, like OCR server has its own algorithms. It automatically tries to recognize the information and gives you. Okay, and as I said, like in case if it is not able to recognize, it may give you 50% correct result or 70% correct result. Okay, or like I won't say correct result, or 50% recognition rate, I would say. Okay, so
Okay,
just to give you an example, say your invoice has 10 fields to be picked up, and the solution is able to pick up correctly only 6 fields or 7 fields. 3 fields are not identified, or 3 fields are data is captured but that data is not correct. So the recognition rate here would be 60% for 6 fields. Okay, now with different invoices, more invoices you process, more invoices you scan through OCR, it keeps learning on its own. That is where your machine learning and AI will come into picture.
okay, okay.
Okay, and
Yeah,
it will improve its own performance.
okay. Thank you, Sachin.
Sachin,
Yes.
here OCR is a separate tool, or else it will be in SAP Vim only.
See, when we talk about tool, it is part of OpenText, which is supporting vendor invoice management. So it is integrated part of Vim. But if we talk from infrastructure point of view and license point of view, for OCR, you need a separate license. The organization has to procure a separate license for OCR, and infrastructure wise also, it's a separate server. So it has to be implemented on a different server other than SAP. So for OCR part, SAP is not prerequisite. Okay, because it itself is a different server. Okay, but it is tightly integrated with Vim. Okay, so for OCR, Vim itself is a prerequisite. So you have one SAP server, one box on which you have SAP server. On top of SAP, you have Vim implemented in that box, and then you have another box where you have OCR implemented, the Vim OCR solution, and then these two boxes will interact with each other. So it is through the Vim solution your OpenText OCR will work or connect,
Uh,
but it is a different
so-
server.
Okay. Going forward, you will show us, right, how it will work, what OCR will do, how it will work, everything, right?
Yes, we will see. I'll cover this topic
Yes.
when we go with the course content.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Any more
Thank you,
questions?
Sachin.
Okay, no more questions. Shall I move forward? Okay, thank you. Benefits. Okay, quick. What are the benefits of Vim? A quick here. Accelerate operations. Yes, as I said, like the operations are getting accelerated, or your overall time required for processing an invoice, the turnaround time reduces. It improves the overall operational productivity. Okay, so that is what is mentioned in the second box as well, like boost the productivity. How it boosts the productivity? Because there are a lot of automated checks in the solution implemented, okay, which will check the data validity, all that will be verified, and then so that the invoice processing can be faster. Also, if there are any exceptions, any challenges during the invoice processing, it automatically redirects the task to the relevant team or relevant person so that they can take an action. Okay, so there is no manual intervention required in between, that if something is stuck, you ask someone manually, wait for the person to respond and all. It automatically will start appearing into the next person queue. Okay, so that way it improves the productivity. And as we say, right, a penny saved is a penny earned. So that way it also helps in revenue. Since your productivity is improving, it reduces the cost. Okay, whatever is reduction is cost is part of your revenue. If you're not spending out, it is savings. In addition to that, the overall solution helps the organization to be compliant and prevent frauds. So it has a workflow solution, so it automatically redirects the task. It has approval process in place, so it avoids any kind of fraud, for any wrong invoice to be processed and approved for payment. At the same time, it also ensures that your organization is compliant, as I shared earlier, right? If there is a requirement of e-invoicing, etc., from compliance point of view, you have a solution available. Okay, so that way also it helps in, so as far as your organization is compliant, there are no penalties, helps in savings, cost saving. There are no frauds, helps in cost saving, overall effect on your revenue. And profit from out of the box is the point, like as I said, like it is a pre-configured system. So you can start using the system as soon as you implement it out of the box. You can start using it, and then whenever you see that okay, if certain changes are required, you can start changing that. Many organizations have a different approach where they know that they can use the solution as is, but at the same time they want they they basically hire experts who know what is available out of the box and what are the different business scenarios. Those will be shared by the business team, and then they want to configure it beforehand, uh, before they start using it. So both approaches are fine. In both the cases anyways, it is helping that there are a lot of scenarios which are already supported, and people can get benefited from it. Okay, so that's a quick overview on the a little bit on benefits from basically revenue or the monetary part of it. Okay, invoice process flow. So before I go to invoice process flow, any questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll just quickly go through this invoice process flow, or what is the flow of invoice when it is getting posted in an organization. So first is receive the invoice. As soon as the invoice is received, then the second part is data entry, or called as loading the metadata, where the some end users will, or the data entry operators will key in the invoice details on the SAP screen. Then somebody would validate the data, check the data, or check the rules that all the fields. Okay, first part is validating the data, is where your information added on the screen is correct, matching with the invoice. As at the same time, is it having the correct master data, like GL accounts, cost centers, purchase order numbers, etc. Are those correct or not? Second is business rules, where somebody would check that all the requirements from a business process point of view are fulfilled or not. Different organizations have different criterias or different requirements. They want to have certain fields to be available, to be populated. So in some organizations those are used from reporting point of view, in some organizations those are used from different perspectives. Okay, so those business rule validations will happen. Last is that they give a go ahead, okay, this is fine, and then post it. So that is how a generic process flow of invoice happens. Now the same thing, this is what we call as a life cycle of an invoice. Okay, and we are going to replace this life cycle, okay, whatever is happening in between, from receiving till posting. Okay, so the first step remains same, receiving of invoice. Last step remains same, posting of an invoice in SAP. The middle part, the process part, is got what we are going to replace with the Vim solution and automate it. Okay, to a great extent. How this is changing here is, first is receiving the invoice. So as soon as the invoice is received, then instead of using the paper invoice itself for data entry, scan the invoice and archive it for future usage. So this itself gives an advantage that only paper invoices are not stored, you have a soft copy available. Okay, second part is metadata, load metadata. This has again the same approach. One is manual approach, the other approach is OCR based data, where you utilize the OCR server and get this metadata populated automatically. So loading the metadata, there are two options, manual or automated. Okay, but OCR is not mandatory from Vim solution point of view. OCR is not mandatory. Okay, if you want to use OCR, you can use it OCR. Okay, and additionally, it is also not mandatory to use open text OCR. You can use any third party OCR as well. Okay, there are a lot of vendors or service providers available nowadays in market who provides this OCR services. So you can use any OCR service provider, and that can be integrated very well with Vim. Okay, the next part what you see is what we have seen in the earlier slide also, right? Validate the metadata, check duplicates, apply business rules. Okay, all this is happening within the Vim solution. Okay, approval will also happen through the Vim solution. And once all this is done, the final part is posting for payment. So that posting will also be taken care by Vim solution. So that all is part of Vim solution. So OpenText provides archive solution, which is the first part, OCR solution, which is the second step, and then the Vim invoice processing till the posting as a Vim solution. Okay, so these are the points, or these are the areas where Vim will come into picture. Any questions on this?
No questions, Sachin.
Okay. This is another flow where we are like we have tried to depict different type of invoices or different sources of invoices. How do you receive different sources of invoices? It could be a hard copy, a physical copy. Okay, so it this we start from the bottommost on the left hand side. Okay, and move towards the I hope you're able to see my cursor. So we start from here. Okay, prepare invoice. There, where that's where you receive a physical or hard copy of invoice. Scan the invoice, convert into digital, store it into the archive server, and then process further. The other way of receiving is the second source could be email. So when you receive an email, so there is an invoice copy attached in the email which you have received that will go into the archival, and then the invoice processing will happen further. Both cases where you have received the invoice in a non-structured format. So basically you have received the physical copy, we convert that into a PDF copy or a image, TIF, JPG, whatever format is being accepted by the organization, that format. Okay, in case of email also you receive the similar data where you receive the attachment as in PDF invoice or JPG or TIF format. Both these cases you are having a raw data. Basically it's not a structured format. You do not know what is the data of what is document date, what is invoice number, what is the amount, etc., because those are in the other format, right? It is not a structured format. So that's where you can integrate OCR if required, okay, which will convert this raw data into structured format. Sorry. Okay, once the structured format is created, it will create a Vim document. Okay, there is something called as Vim document which will be getting created before your invoice is posted. Okay, there is another way of receiving the invoices. It could be your e-invoice or iDocs or XMLs. Okay, different formats. Sorry, different formats. So if you receive the invoices in these different formats, these are already into a structured format. iDocs, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, it is a structured format. XML is a structured format. Okay, e-invoice is also part of XML, like where you receive the data in XML format. So all these are structured formats. So in case the data is already received in a structured format, then we don't go for OCR, we directly create a Vim document and it is processed further. So at this point, when the Vim document is created, in indexing is done, right? The data entry part is done either manually or by OCR, or you're receiving directly into a structured format. Then you process the invoice further. It can be processed in PO based invoice or a FI invoice or a non-PO invoice. It will go further. Posting, like approvals will happen. Post approval, it will post the document. Okay, and once the posted is done, invoice verification will also happen. In case of PO, two-way match or three-way match also will take care. Okay, if there is anything which is left out, it has its own workflow to manage this invoice verification stage. And if everything is okay, in both the cases the invoices are released for payment, and that's where our cycle ends. Okay, and there are certain reports which are provided by OpenText. Those can be utilized across the stages, across the invoice processing cycle.
Sachin, like I have one question. So, what all formats we are going to like configure in our like it means in training session? Are we going to like use email, iDocs, and PDF?
I will go through. I'll tell you. So this whatever these formats, when you say, these are not, but these are sources.
Yeah.
Okay, different
Mhm.
sources. Sources in Vim terminology we call those as channels. Okay, and we will be covering all the channels. We'll be covering email channel. We'll be covering what I can say is physical invoice or a manual drag and drop channel. We'll be covering iDoc, Ariba. Okay, All these channels will be covered.
Okay, so will we able to test like Ariba also, like do or our system will be like connected to Ariba system as well?
I'll come to that during the course content.
Sure,
Okay, don't mind.
sure.
Okay. Any questions? Any more questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll just go through a couple of more slides, which just shows a gist of the configurations, just to give an gist that what all concepts or how till what details or depth we are going to cover the concepts. The first is the archive link configuration. That would be the initial part, as we have seen in the process cycle. The first part is we archive the invoice. That is the first step. So I've just tried to give you a very high level gist that what details we are going to cover in the configuration level, right? So here you can see the content repository, presetting folders, archive the archive document type, linking the archive document types to objects, workflows, all those. So this is a high level gist, or just to present or portray that what depth we are going to cover. Okay. And the second slide what I have is a representation of different concepts. So here it is what we have a DP document type, that is one concept, and how it is linked to a different configurations or different other concepts. What is index item coding, header coding, screen options, what are document processes, what is a process type, how this process type is linked to a DP document, etc. So this is called as a mind map presentation. Okay, so that's what I have tried to give for one of the concept. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share from my side. Now if you have any more questions, please let me know. If there are no more questions, then I'll switch to the course content. Any questions? Please don't hesitate. If you have any doubt, anything, please raise it.
No, no questions from my end, Sachin. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there are no more questions, then let me switch to course content. Okay, now when I say course content, there is a list of the topics which we are going to cover. Okay, let me know once you're able to see the Excel file. Are you able to see the Excel file?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So here we have listed out what are the prerequisite expected, okay, and what we are going to cover the topics, okay, and these topics are also I would say it's not 100% true that we are going to cover only these topics. We will go through the details of every concept what we have in Vim, okay. So from the prerequisite point of view, yes, it's always advantageous if you know a little bit about SAP basis. When I say basis, like what the basis team does, what is their roles, okay, what activities are carried out by them, so that when we cover the configuration steps, there are certain aspects or certain steps which are required to be carried out by basis. So that will help in understanding that part. Accounts payable operations and material management operations. Obviously these two topics are the I would say like core part of invoice processing. You need to understand what is the complete P2P process, which starts from your invoice processing till the payment part of it. Okay. So that is where you need to have this understanding, material management, so that you know when we are talking about PO based invoices, what is a PO, what is a GR, what are different scenarios in GR, etc. Okay, or different scenarios in POs, what kind of invoices can be posted. So all that will give a like, if you know the basics of that, it will help in understanding the scenarios and the overall configuration from a process point of view. Accounts payable, obviously, because this is part of accounts payable, so it will help in understanding that why certain things are configured in such a way. Okay. Course content point of view overview, we have seen today what is vim, what are the components, how SAP documents are processed. We have seen the streamline process diagram for different channels or different sources of invoices, right? We are going to cover the archive document type, vim roles, okay, vim processes, PO based invoice processing, non PO based invoice processing, all the concepts within those, invoice approval, how the approval is configured, different channels, email channel, idoc channel. Okay, we'll be covering ariba channel as well. Okay, OCR as well, those are also channels, since you receive invoice data from those channels. What are different reports and background jobs which are required when you implement vim, we will be covering those. And last is the ICC, which is the OCR solution from OpenText. So this is all what we are going to cover during the course. Over to you for your questions.
Yeah, so Sachin, like I asked earlier about the Ariba one, that
Yeah, so as I
interface.
said, Ariba will be covered as a part of channel. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
OCR will also be covered as a part of channel. Okay, so Ariba, idoc, email, all this we will be covering as a channel. What configurations are required, we will be covering. Will be processing invoices from idoc channel. Okay, from non or manual drag and drop channel. Now coming to the other servers. Okay, when we talk about other servers, either it is Ariba or OCR for that matter. Okay, those are different servers, and we have a limitation with connecting to the other servers. What we have is SAP server and SAP server with vim installed on it. Okay, access to that. We do not have connect, or we do not have a test Ariba server available. Okay, because Ariba is more on like cloud based environment. Okay, it
Okay.
has cloud instance, so we do not have connectivity to Ariba, so we won't be able to basically test the Ariba invoices. Okay, practically we won't be able to test the Ariba invoices, but we will be covering all the configurations which are required from Ariba point of view.
So same goes with PCC also, right, Sachin?
Yeah, I you mean to say OCR part of it, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, OCR, I will be covering what are the configurations required on SAP side, what are the configurations or setups required on the OCR server. Okay, I will be covering those concepts. Okay, but as I said, like since we do not have a connectivity, those will be more on theoretical processes or class uh, theory based sessions. We won't be able to test those practically. For all the other concepts, you will be getting an access to SAP system for it, and where you would be able to practically try all those configuration, process the invoices, and see the effect of those configurations. But for these concepts, wherever we have this third party server or a different server involved, we won't be able to test those practically. We would be covering all the concepts in theory sessions details. Okay, for OCR part of it, I'll be showing you the screenshots also from the OCR server, how the screens appear, how those look like.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
practically we won't be able to connect to the server and show something. or process an invoice from that point of view.
Got it. Yeah. And like as I said earlier, I was like a little bit like more interested like to understand the like functional modules. What?
Yes, 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 yes. All those we will be covering. See, whatever is on the SAP system, we will be surely covering all those in detail. Function modules, wherever you have possibility of function modules, we will be covering during our sessions. Okay, what all function modules you have? What are some that like we will be going through some standard function modules which are provided by OpenText. How you can copy those and create your own, where you can plug in your own function modules. All those custom options wherever you can customize the existing solution, we will be covering all those. And in addition to that, in case if you have any queries, okay, any specific query where you want to know how that particular scenario can be catered, if that is not covered during the session, you can always raise your queries and we will surely clarify those.
Sure. Thank you, Sachin.
So like say whatever is on the SAP system, you will have a practical of it. Whatever is the third party or a third server involved, there won't we won't be able to take the practical, but we will be surely covering all the concepts. Okay, on SAP function modules, etc. We can surely go for it. If you want to debug something, I can give you a quick overview on debugging as well. Okay, those can be covered.
Got it. Thank you. So, how much like I'm a FICO consultant? How much like it will be like I should know the technical part of it, like debugging and all. Do we need to have a techno-functional type of person who should do Vim, or like FICO is okay to go on Vim?
See, I'll give you my example. Okay, Vim is an area which actually demands a techno-functional person. Okay, that does not mean that a functional person cannot do it or a technical person cannot do it. Okay, both ways it is true. It does have, as I said, like what OpenText has done. Okay, is they have created this tool in such a manner that is so much flexible to customize it. Okay, now when I say customize it, it automatically comes some custom code, right? So that's where your technical team will pitch in. Okay, now when your technical team is pitching in, from a functional point of view, you also need to have some basic understanding, right? If I say a function module, you need to understand what is a function module. If I say class method, you need to understand what is a class or method, at least basic understanding, right?
Okay.
If you know that much part of it, then you would be able to design a solution, a custom solution if required. You would be able, you would be in a position to design a better solution, a stable solution. Okay, from a custom solution point of view. So it does not matter if you are a functional consultant. Okay, from
Got it.
a functionality point of view, you need to understand surely. At some places you need to if you have a basic understanding of technical concepts also will help you.
Sure. Thank you, Sachin.
Okay, more you know technical there, like in my experience I've seen there are functional consultants who have worked, say, depending on different experiences or the opportunities they get, there are few consultants who know very well on the technical concepts. I have seen few CAs having 6 7 years experience and they are debugging the standard code. So it
Yeah.
all depends on you. So more technical knowledge and more functional knowledge you have, it is beneficial for you, but it
Got
is
it.
not mandatory to have.
Sure.
Okay.
Sachin, I have one doubt.
Yes, please.
Sachin, as Ariba uploaded invoices, I can see that those invoices are not in SAP Vim. Those things are not editable format. How it interrelated to SAP Vim? Those DPs will upload. Those invoices will uploaded by who will upload those invoices in the system? How it will works in SAP Vim?
You were talking more about the SAP, sorry, the Ariba channel, how the invoices will be received in SAP, how those will
Yes,
be
yes,
processed, right?
Yeah, how
uh,
we'll receive those invoices in system?
there are
Like
different ways to
nor
connect. There are different ways
like
to connect your Ariba system to SAP system. Okay, depending on
uh-huh.
what methodology you are using. Are you using a direct connectivity? Are you using a mediated connectivity? Depending on that, you would have different solutions for it. How the invoices is received, and further, once the invoice is received, how it has to be processed again, depending on the first part of it. How you are receiving, your processing will also differ. The configuration required for that will also differ. Okay, and it will
Mhm.
directly come into vim. It will create a vim document. It will be available for processing further. Okay,
Okay.
I have
Normally
given, I
we
have tried
can
to share a very high level overview. Okay, going into detail, I think it's too early to discuss that level of concept, because there are a lot of prerequisites required to understand that concept.
okay, Sachin.
Okay, so I hope you understand, right? We have
Yeah, I
yet to
understand.
start with
Yeah.
the basics, right? Yet to
Yes,
start with the
yes.
basics also. So discussing Ariba channel right now would be too early to discuss to understand the concepts. Maybe you might already be knowing it, but for others, it would be very difficult to grasp that.
Okay, Sachin, here one thing I can request you, like as a we are, I'm like a end user part. I know how for us
Mhm.
how it will be easy to understand. Like I hope you will clearly explain us like that in that way, not
Yes,
like
yes, yes. Surely, surely,
yeah.
surely. See, since you're an end user, okay, the advantage is that you already know SAP, you already know the transactions, and for that matter, you also know the Vim transactions and Vim related processes,
Yes.
right? When say,
Mm,
no offense meant for anyone, but uh, each coin has its own sides to benefits, right? There are
yes.
two sides for every coin. So as an end user, you might not be aware about the configurations, okay, how the configurations are carried out in SAP, but you know the, as an end user point of view, you know the business processes, you know the Vim screens, Vim transactions, okay. Same time, for the other FICO consultants or technical consultants, they know how configurations are carried out, what are the ways where you save the configuration, how it is processed and all. They don't know the Vim transaction. So like
Yeah.
there is some advantage for anyone, right?
Yes. Here both are there, so you can you please explain us like I
Yeah,
can also
no, no
easily
worries, no worries.
understand
See,
so that
everyone who is here to learn Vim, we will ensure that they are learning Vim.
yeah.
Okay. Any more
Okay, Sachin.
questions?
Thank you. That
Welcome, welcome.
Sachin, like I think means you are going to cover it like later on, right? But I wanted to just ask about the timeline.
Okay, timeline. Actually, I thought I'll cover at the end when everybody is done with their any
Okay.
questions. So if there
Yeah.
are any more, if there are no more questions, then surely I'll talk about the timelines. Any more questions?
and course duration part.
I'll cover that part of timeline itself. Okay, I guess there are no more questions. So from coming to timeline, we will be having sessions every day morning 8:30 to 9:30 IST. Okay, 1 hour session every day, Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays, weekends off. Spend time with your family, and if you want, you can practice more on weekends. Sessions on Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 9:30 morning. Okay, and timeline or the duration of the course is not defined, or I would not like to define it. As I said that whoever is here to learn Vim, our emphasis is on ensuring that the person has come here will learn Vim. Okay, so I'm not time bounding any particular topic, any particular concept, that this has to be finished in 2 hours or this has to be finished in 5 sessions. Okay, so it is open unless and until everybody is understanding the concept. I'll try to explain those in different ways, different approaches, and ensuring that everyone is understanding the concept, and then we move forward. Okay, and hence I would not time bound it. Okay, having said that, if we have a like based on the prior experience, whatever batches we had. In general, if we have an average grasping and if we carry out these sessions normally, it generally takes around 45 days. Okay, 45, so we can say 1.5 months to 2 months, we cover the complete course content. Okay, subject to that we are not missing the classes, we are not rescheduling the classes, and average grasping of the batch. Okay, does that answer the timeline and the duration part of it?
Yes, Sachin. So, one like one thing is like, will it be like a regular schedule, or it is like we'll have a break and all, because it will push our dates, right? So that is what
Yeah, yeah,
I.
as I said, right, normally we will have sessions Monday to Friday. Okay, every week we will continue unless until there are some uh, what I can say is like, uh, one thing is that if I am not well, that is one scenario where the sessions can be pushed off, or if the attendants are not available, right? If nobody is available, nobody is joining this session, then obviously the session will go ahead. If people are going on vacation and requesting to push the sessions, it will go ahead. Otherwise it is normal, Monday to Friday.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so unless and until we push, okay, either it is from the attendance side or from my side, it is normal. So I hope I don't fall sick and so that will ensure from my side, and I hope everyone is available. That will ensure from your side. We can
Mhm.
cover and close this session or batch within 2 months.
And what about that, like video sharing and documents? Are we going to get anything like for future reference?
Okay, the approach of the sessions or the approach of the training would be that I would be sharing my screen. Okay, and it's not like a classroom training, a whiteboard based training. Okay, not
Hmm.
that you will, I will explain things on theory and then you carry out practical kind of thing. I will handhold you, go through the configuration nodes, each and every node, each and every concept, and explain you the details on each and every concept, every field, what are the significance of that field, what is the impact of that particular configuration. We'll go through each and every node of the configuration in vim, and we will be carrying out invoice processing also. I'll show you that when you carry out certain configuration, what is the impact of that
Yeah.
configuration when you process the invoice. So we will process certain invoices also, so several invoices in system. We'll see how this invoice processing happens, right from indexing till approval and posting.
Right. Yeah, that will be great, Sachin. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And from sharing point of view, we will be sharing, like we will be having these video sessions, right? Screen sharing sessions. These
Yeah.
videos will be recorded and you will be getting the recordings of these sessions.
Okay. That will be great.
Okay. There are some topics which does not require more of explanation. Okay, like reports and bad jobs. Those are very theoretical things where you just simply go and execute the report or you just schedule the bad jobs. For those cases, I'll be sharing a couple of documents with you for reports and bad jobs. Okay, and
Mhm.
recordings anyways will be available for you. But
Sure.
if you are expecting from a configuration point of view any documents, then I would like to share upfront that we would not be able to share any documents from configuration point of view. Okay,
Mhm.
the reason is that this is like any documentation is subject to this IP rights, copyrights. So that is where we cannot share any documents as such.
You mean to like open text documents, right?
Yeah, not open text documents also and not open text also, then also any documentation is subject to copyright. So say if I
Okay.
give you something which matches with open text configuration somewhere, there is a possibility that someone raises a concern over it, and those can lead to legal litigations, etc. So to avoid all that complications, we do not share. We share these video recordings with you, but not the documented format.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. The last question I have, Sachin, like if I want to go ahead and for certification, like for OpenText, is it like this
Uh-huh.
course will like help me on that, or like how does that go actually?
Yes, yes, yes. See, certification, when you go what certification, there are different certifications available from OpenText, which you can
Yeah,
find on OpenText certification. Simply, if you even if you give a search in Google, OpenText Vim certification, it will give you a link to there. You can find those certifications, and after this course, you can surely appear for the exam. Okay, if you have gone through all these sessions and practiced during this class, then you will be able to. You should be able to do it.
got it, Sachin.
Okay.
Sachin, last thing, Sachin. Sachin, end of the session or else in the mid, how what type of questions will get the in interview? Like those also you will tell us, right? How in real time it
See,
works.
assistance on the interviews part is bit challenging. Okay, if you have any specific question, yeah, surely we can discuss the questions. But from my side, sharing something that this can be asked in interview or not, it is very subjective. Okay, interviews are very subjective. It is there is no guarantee or anything that anyone will ask a particular question or not. Right? It is very subjective. So if you have anything specifically, if you're appearing for interview and if somebody has asked some specific question, or if there are any certain questions which you were not able to answer, or if you then we can discuss those. Okay, but
Yeah, okay.
like preparing for interviews is not the part of this course. Here what we are covering is the technical concepts, enabling you to understand those concepts. And for sure, if you are understanding the concepts, as I said, like for the certification, similarly for interviews also, if you are attending all the sessions, understanding the concepts and practicing during the sessions, okay, you will surely able to do it. We have a lot of successful examples for
Okay,
interviews.
Sachin. Thank you so much. That's all. That's all from my side.
So, Sachin, the last one is like session is going to start from tomorrow, or like uh,
Monday to
when do you?
Friday. So we are planning to start a batch from Monday. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
everyone, whoever wants to join, request to everyone, please share your details with Subbu. Okay. See, Subbu is the admin guy. I am the content guy. So Subbu will take care of all these sessions, so scheduling these sessions, any challenges you are facing, providing access to the test servers. All those will be taken care by Subbu, and I will be the content guy. So anything related to content or Vim related concepts, you reach out to me. Anything related to admin task, you reach out to Subbu. You know, your enrolling, your fees, etc. Everything goes to Subbu, admin.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Monday, 8:30 is the starting time. Whoever wants to enroll, please share your details with Subbu.
sure.
Subbu will share an invite for this session.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? If there are no more questions, shall we close the session for today?
Yeah, sure, Sachin. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay, everyone, please share your details with Subbu. So he will share the invite.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Sachin.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.